Welcome back to following me round as an escape room owner, distillery owner, and doing a renovation project. So we start the Monday by going down to the garage to try and get my wife's car fixed, which is broken due to the weather. And it's a fairly short day today. We're just in the office doing a bit of admin, paperwork, and we're doing some 3D printing. So we're making some of these L shapes for one of our games in Altrincham. Printing it now, and we did try and work out the hole size for this magnet to go in, but it looks like it's too small. I managed to force it in, but then when it starts printing again, the filament doesn't sit quite right, so I decided to bin that one and start again. On to Tuesday. So it is a distillery day today. I'm packing up the car with a load of Christmas stuff, and I have to head down to the garage this time for my car. I go into the distillery and I meet our new production assistant, John, and we start to work. First thing to do is to strain the batches that we started macerating last week. So we remove all the ingredients, and then we pour that into the still, start heating the still up so the alcohol vapour starts coming off, and we condense that into the gin. You can see that there going into the jug, and John's there unbottling the first recipe. We then have to clean all the urns, make sure everything's nice and clean, and get everything ready so it's there to use when you need it. So John then moves on to bottling his second flavour. And I go over to start packing our orders that need to go out to some of the shops that have run out of stock. So obviously it was quite busy over Christmas, some of the shops had run out over the break, and I'm just restocking the ones that need some more on the shelf. Because it was quite busy, we were bottling a lot of stuff to order. So I've got a few bottles that I need to make up and label for these deliveries. First one is some large bottles of the Huddersfield gin. I also need a few minis as well. So here I am labelling the minis, and John's writing the batch numbers on his run that he's done of Blood Orange in the background. Now, I'm meant to be picking up my car, but they hadn't rung me. So I go down to go and collect it. Once I get back, I do one of these bespoke bottles that we offer. So customers can order any flavour of ours and have anything they want on the bottle. So this is a birthday bottle by the looks of it. So we firstly print it on this special material, and then I use this little machine that then goes and cuts out the shape around the label so it matches our normal labels. Then it's the same as bottling our others. Stick it in a bottle and put the label just on it. Next, we then have to get everything ready for next week, so we start macerating another recipe. So we have to pump out some of this NGS, which we mix up to 50%. We make 28 litres of this, which is one run in our still. We add this and some water to one of the urns, give it a bit of a mix. And then we start measuring out our ingredients into one of the urns. So we can mix the two together and then leave it to macerate over the week. Give it another mix at the end just to break up any clumps that have stuck together so that it stews nicely and gets all the flavour out of the ingredients. I then get my car packed up with the orders that need to go out before shutting up and heading off. So back home we go back onto these 3D prints. If we change the files to make the hole a bit bigger for the magnet, we start printing another one of the L shapes. So Wednesday we start with some more 3D prints. These do take a while to print, so every time I'm at home I normally set one off going, so it's done by the time I get back. And I'm onto a bit of admin before packing the car and heading over to the house. On the way we do a couple of deliveries for the farm shops that we had to supply. driving over. It has been quite icy this morning, so there's a car here that's run off the road, unfortunately. And head to the renovation property. First thing is to load everything in. So the decorator's kind of nearly finished now, so I can keep more of my things over there. Now the first job that I do is stick some wooden beading over a gap above the front door. So it's a little bit too big to fill properly, so I want to stick this beading up first to hide the main part of the gap, and then I can fill it top and bottom once it's dry. And then clean down the kitchen top, leave it all nice and tidy first. And I move on to cut down these boards that the decorators left sticking out for some reason. So I neaten that up, and I've also got some trim then to put over the edge, just to hide it and make it a bit neater. Sand down the edge of this worktop just so I can put my end bit of laminate on. And before I start tiling, I want to screw this worktop in place so it doesn't move around anyway, it's all nice and secure. Now there's the fuse spur for this cooker hood that's been left a little bit too long, so I want to cut it down, put a back box on it and wire it back up. So I take the wire out of the cooker hood first. So I put a hole in the side of this cover panel just so the wire can come through it, and put a hole in the back box as well for the wire to go through into that. Now unfortunately, when I'm tightening up that back box, and I am using the impact driver, which I shouldn't really be using, I should be using the normal drill, and I can set how hard I want it to screw in. And I do tighten it up a bit too much and it breaks that back box unfortunately, so I have to take it all off and order another one. I then move on to replacing this faceplate of this socket, because it's completely broken. I just change it like for like. Now I should add some earth sleeving over the earth here, which I didn't know about. I'll come on to that a little bit later. Once it's all connected back up, I turn the power on. I can test that cooker hood just to make sure it works, which it does, which is great. And then I test the socket. Unfortunately, it didn't work. Now I did find out that there was a wire split inside which touched the back box and blew it. So I then try and find an electrician that can sort that and sort the consumer unit change downstairs.
Your number in just the HD Connect magazine.
Hi, speaking.
Ah, yeah, my name's Tom Clark. I found your number in the HD Connect magazine.
I then take my son to gymnastics in my nicely repaired car, and unfortunately this happens. The guy for some reason didn't see me and just drove straight into me. So in the morning I'm back at the garage to have a look at getting the car repaired. Now the chap that crashed into me was actually quite a nice guy. He sorted out getting it repaired between us and he put it all right, which was nice. So yesterday I did actually post a video of me repairing a floorboard and cutting through a cable, which seemed to go a bit viral. My first video that has. So on about 60,000 views. I thought people would just be laughing at me for being stupid for cutting the wire, but actually I got a lot of grief for how I repaired it. So I didn't realise that actually I couldn't have a screw fit connector to repair the wire, and it should have been a Wago connector. So today I go back, take up the floorboard, turn off the power and I replace it. So I've got some earth sleeving, some Wagos and a Wago box. So it has to be a maintenance free solution, which means that there's no screws involved because they can apparently come loose over time. Firstly, I start by untaping the connector that I put in there, unscrew it, and I clip on some Wagos and I put on some earth sleeving as well, which you need to have at the end of these cables. Once that's on, I can then clip on the Wagos. I do the same with the other end of the cable, so I can join the two together. push it into a Wago box. I don't know why this is so much safer, but apparently it is. I want to do things correctly. So I'm glad I get these sorted. Put it into these Wago boxes, and then I have to put this Wago box onto the joist. So I can screw it in place, so it can't move around, doesn't pull the cable or anything like that. Now you can put up to 3 different connections into this box. For how the cables are positioned, I just put 2 in this first one. So once pushed in place, you have to put this cable tie on, otherwise apparently it's not maintenance free. And I've got 2 of the cables to sort, which I put in their own separate boxes, just so it's not straining the cable or anything like that. But hopefully this pleases the electricians, a lot of which were calling me a cowboy and other names. But I just didn't know. So it's nice to find out and know for next time if I do happen to make a mistake, how to fix it properly. So also I wasn't quite happy with how I repaired the floorboard last time, so I also got some wider board which fits in better. Measured it, cut it down, got it screwed down, so it's a much better fix and repair to the floorboards. I then move into the kitchen, clean down this kitchen top again, and today I'm going to start tiling the splashback. So the first thing is to make up some adhesive. So I get some water from upstairs, that's the only sink I've got at the minute. Unfortunately, I think I added a bit too much water because I had to make up pretty much the full bag. And once that's mixed, I can then start spreading it onto the wall. And I use this notch trowel then, just to put in some even depth of adhesive on the wall, so I don't have lumps and bumps everywhere. So once that's spread on the wall, I then measure it, find my centre point, and I start laying them down just from that point, so it's nice and symmetrical. I have a similar cut at each end. I had my first couple of courses on, I put these 3mm spacers in between so it's all nicely spaced, and keep everything even. Get to the end, it gets a little bit tricky around this plug socket. I cut down some trim to put on the edge, just to give it a nice finish. I have to cut around this tile just to make the opening for the plug socket, so it goes around that, so when it's sat on it's nice and flush. And start with the next course, putting on some more adhesive using the notch trowel again. So my adhesive was a little bit sloppy, just because it was a little bit wet. I seem to manage with it in the end. Once I'm done, I get all packed up. Now, because it's my 40th this week, we are going away for the weekend. We're going up to Saltburn. So it's quite a short day today. I go and grab some stuff from the distillery. A couple of odd little repairs. I've got this urn where the handles come off. My neighbour in the next unit, he actually does welding, so he's going to fix it for me. Then get back home, shovel down our drive. So I've got the mother-in-law that's staying, and then my mum's coming over, so I want to make it sure it's nice and safe for everyone to walk on. And I finally do a little bit of admin, get some of these clips ready for the vlog before we head off. Now I went up to Saltburn, nice little place. We had a great place just on the front, on the cliffs overlooking the beach. I'm going to wander around, lots of nice little independent shops. I went down to the beach, which was freezing. But nice to have a walk around, play some of the amusements. And just generally have a relax over the weekend. So that's it for this week, so thanks for watching. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe and like the video, and we'll see you next week.